Squid Game took the whole world by storm. 111 million people watched the show during its original launch, making it Netflix's most popular property. Fans are hungry for more survival drama action, but it looks like there's going to be a long wait for season 2. In the meantime, let's take a look at what went into the making of the show. Here's what VFX supervisor Cheong Jai had to say about creating the series' deadly amusement park visuals. Let's start by acknowledging the incredible work the team put in. Squid Game felt completely fresh. This show left an impression on viewers, and we're pretty sure we don't need to explain why. With its freaky sets, tense action, and high-stakes drama, every single part of the series felt super memorable. One aspect of the show that you might not have paid a ton of attention to is the incredible VFX work. Believe it or not, there was actually a ton of CGI in every one of the show's sequences. That's right, not everything you saw on screen was practical. You've probably heard of how Netflix shelled out to make some massive sets for the show, but they wouldn't have been possible without VFX. The best part about it all is that viewers barely noticed when digital effects started entering the picture. The CGI was so perfectly merged with each scene that it never ruined the immersion. That's the magic of TV for you, and it means the VFX team for Squid Game really knew what they were doing. That said, it was still a pretty challenging process. Cheong Jai, the VFX supervisor for the whole project, recently sat down with Gold Derby to discuss what went into the production. This guy was in charge of overseeing all of the CGI that went into the series, so he was able to answer a ton of fan questions. Cheong started off by explaining what the most challenging part of the process was, and it's not exactly what you'd expect. Now, it's obviously not easy making audiences believe in the impossible, but Squid Game made it look easy. Whether it was the gory violence or the craziness of a set like the Glass Bridge, everything felt heightened but realistic at the same time. According to Cheong, the most difficult part was striking a balance between the believable and the unbelievable. The VFX team apparently had a tough time grounding all the insanity of the show in the real world, and a big part of that was the digital work on the sets. Cheong and his team were actually working with the production designers from the very beginning. You might think the digital effects team steps in near the end of production, but if you want results like this, you have to commit. Believe it or not, the backgrounds and edges of all the sets in Squid Game were digital. Some of them weren't even all in one place. The producers didn't have the budget to build the locations to scale, so they were constructed from the ground up to feature digital elements. That's pretty crazy to hear because those stages looked very real. How'd they make it look that organic? Well, Cheong says it's all about preparation and shooting with VFX in mind. He must have planned a lot because the digital effects on the show were pretty extensive. Get this, some of your favorite episodes were stuffed with CGI. Cheong reported that 4 episodes of the show in particular were extremely graphics heavy, namely episodes 1, 4, 7, and 9. That's right, according to Cheong, basically all the scenes in those entries had some heavy VFX work go into them. The 4th and 7th episodes featured the tug of war and the glass tile game, and the size of those sets definitely wouldn't be possible in real life. It's pretty surprising to hear that both the finale and the premiere were full of graphics though. We know what you're thinking. How on earth was the red light, green light game from the first episode not practical? Cheong said that while they were planning the scene, the director felt like the designs for the set were too colorful. He wanted to make them a little more realistic, but they didn't have time to come up with something new at that point. That's why the set's backgrounds were kept blue when they shot the scene. That made for a lot of extra VFX work because they'd have to use the same set for the finale's Squid Game. What made things even more difficult was the fact that it started raining in the last episode. Any expert will tell you that water makes digital effects way trickier. So Cheong and his team really had their hands full. All things considered, they did some incredible work. What's more, the color scheme took a while to finalize. Cheong mentions that his team actually spent a lot of time figuring out how to make the colors on the show work. Squid Game was designed to have a sort of amusement park aesthetic, but it had to be something that was dark at the same time. If they kept things too bright, it would ruin the drama, but if they kept it too grim, they'd lose what made their show unique. To keep things balanced, the entire production team had to work together. Director Hwang Dong-hyuk relayed his vision to the technical workers, and they brought it to life on screen. It was a meticulous process, but we can definitely all agree they made it work. Squid Game feels special because all the effects support the story. You don't see that a lot in Hollywood these days. days. In fact, Cheong is so proud of his work that he can't pick a favorite moment. Thankfully for him and his team, all that hard work paid off. The show was a massive hit, and Cheong says he's very grateful for all the acclaim. According to the supervisor, he's proud of every single aspect of the series, and he's relieved that so many people love it. He went on to say that he was really apprehensive about a couple of scenes before they were released. Which ones? The answer might surprise you, because they're two of the best sequences in the entire first season. The glass stepping stone and tug of war games were so full of digital elements that Cheong was worried people would think they were fake. Getting the proper sense of scale and height for those scenes was very important to him. So important that the poor guy lost a ton of sleep under all that pressure. And get this, he wasn't convinced he'd gotten them right until after people got to see them. He obviously had nothing to worry about. Those two games were incredible. Cheong even got nominated for a Visual Effects Society Award in the US, so his work is being recognized around the world. After learning how much effort he put into the show, we're thrilled he's gotten the attention he deserves. Let's now move on to other news related to Squid Game. First up, it looks like the writing for season 2 of Squid Game is an uphill battle. Yeah, we know you can't wait much longer for the second season. It looks like we're going to have to be patient though, because scripts are taking a while to complete. Star Cheong Jai, who played Gi-hun on the hit show, just stated in a recent interview that Hwang Dong-hyuk, the show's creator, is struggling to write the scripts. How does he know? Well, apparently he wanted to ask Dong-hyuk about his progress too. Lee also expressed his excitement to see what the creative team was working on. They'll have to come up with something truly special to meet the audience's expectations though. Seriously, the hype levels for season 2 are sky high. The pressure is on, but we can definitely trust the team to come up with something cool. Next, Cheong Jai just made his directorial debut. Yes, you heard that right. The Squid Game star is stepping behind the camera for his next project. It's a super cool spy drama called Hunt, and it's got fans hyped. The veteran actor says he's always dreamed of creating a new kind of spy movie, and he's finally getting the chance after 30 years in the industry. He's really taking charge of the project, having written the script in addition to taking up directorial duties. The film stars Lee and his longtime friend Jung Woo-sung. It follows two intelligence agents in South Korea who go after a dangerous spy. In the process, they discover a plot to assassinate the South Korean president. The movie opens in Korea cinemas this August, and it sounds pretty epic. And finally, Stranger Things 4 is catching up on Squid Game's viewing hours. We just got volume 2 of the hit show, and it's the talk of the town. We definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's no Squid Game, but it's pretty solid entertainment. With the release of volume 2, the latest season officially crossed the 1 billion viewership mark in its first 28 days of release. It's only the second series in Netflix's history to cross that milestone, with the first obviously being Squid Game. It's definitely lagging behind in other departments though. The fourth season's 1.15 billion viewership hours are still way less than Squid Game's 1.65 billion total. The Korean show remains Netflix's most watched series ever, and it's not losing that title anytime soon. If anything, Stranger Things coming out just makes those numbers look even more impressive. That's a wrap for this video. Did Cheong's comments surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.